see on the back there. Thank you, Tony and Daniel. Take two. Obviously, this is the unit that I'm studying, and I've had to create a mind map which breaks down my understanding of work health and safety. I've created some bigger pictures on the table here so that we can go through it and it's a little bit more legible. What I'm going to do is go through this slideshow and show you what I've been studying. So, obviously we have the legislation. I've actually put the links to where we can find it. You can actually find them on the website and download them, or you can purchase copies of the hardcover and the light Bibles, but with all the information that we need in the legislation. Okay, so the Act, the Work Health and Safety Act, sets legal rules for workplace safety in Western Australia. It's compliant, and failure to comply is an offence. It protects all workers and promotes consultation and training. The emphasis is on training. It aims for continuous improvement in workplace safety. And then we have the regulations. So the Act is supported by more detailed regulations. Both the Act and the regulations are enforceable. Work health and safety regulations provide more specific instructions on how to meet the requirements of the Act. They set out specific requirements for hazards found in the workplace, such as noise, whistling, singing, operating machinery, and proper manual handling. Work health and safety regulations offer practical guidance for employers to ensure worker safety. So, the WorkSafe Commissioner is the regulator under the Work and Health and Safety Act. And it all falls under the Departments of Mines, Industry, Regulation and Safety, which is DMIRS. The regulator enforces the work health and safety laws. It investigates WHS matters. It advises businesses. It analyses data that's presented to it. It promotes collaboration within businesses and organisations. And it supports education. So next we have 3 documents that actually help this. And the first one is interpretive guidelines. These guidelines explain how the regulator interprets the key parts of the Act. They show how the regulator thinks the Act should be applied to businesses and gives insights on how work health and safety laws will be enforced. And again, this is just one that relates to our business at Powerlift. Next we have codes of practice. So it provides detailed info on achieving work health and safety. It's not a replacement for the law. It helps people, PCBUs and people in business understand compliance requirements for a safe workplace. And again, that's related to our case, our workplace. We have another link there. And next, but not least, we have the Australian standards. So these 3 documents are Australian standards, are codes of practice and interpretive guidelines. They inform the PCBU, which is the person conducting business undertakings, with information on how to achieve safety and health standards in the workplace. So the role of WorkSafe Australia, it supports the regulator to enforce the laws. WorkSafe Australia provides the work inspectors, which they can go out to businesses and perform inspections. They provide resources in education, and they also have goals set and what they want to achieve. They offer education, training and support to businesses, and everything can be found on the WorkSafe website. So the WorkSafe inspectors, they advise on work health and safety acts and regulations compliance. They enter workplaces for inspections and inquiries, and they enforce the Act. So there are 3 notices that they can issue. One is an improvement notice. When something's not compliant and it's not an immediate risk, they can offer they issue a notice, which means that the business has to comply and they'll have a certain time frame to do so. The next is a prohibition notice. That is an immediate stop work. They have to comply immediately because it's a dangerous risk to someone getting hurt. And a non-disturbance notice, it requires the person to preserve the site of an accident so they can come and perform their inspections. Okay, what is a PCBU? It's found under Section 19 and Section 25 in the Act, and it's owners, directors and partners. And they are responsible for the overall health and safety of the workplace. They must provide and maintain a safe work environment for everybody. And they must monitor and implement work health and safety measures. We also have officers of PCBU. Just like a PCBU, they are responsible for the people that they look after in their workplace. And they need to monitor and supervise activities addressing any unsafe behaviours that could lead to incidents happening. And also workers and other workers, so employees, contractors, subcontractors, labour hire companies and volunteers, apprentices and even students on work experience. They're responsible for their own work, their own safety in the work environment as well. Okay, we have our health and safety reps, which is Daniel here. He's elected by his fellow workers and he investigates hazards, he monitors work practices and he requests information and he advocates for a safe work environment for everybody. And Daniel can also issue PIN notices as well, which requires the company to actually take action. And then we also have our training advisors and our safety managers as well, who works with the PCBU and the officers to ensure a safe work environment. Okay, some of the key work health and safety activities are risk assessment and management, incident reporting, safe work procedures, so our policies and procedures of how to do our tasks. And obviously we train people on how to do the tasks and we send them on courses for their risk licences. And we consult and we participate with our workers to ensure that everything is safe. And we constantly monitor and review. So something that I did mention earlier was industrial manslaughter. So industrial manslaughter is something that's just come out in the new regulations and act, and the PCBU is responsible for a death. If anything causes a worker's death and that they do send them knowingly to do something that will cause that. So an individual like you, Tony, you could face up to 20 years in jail or a $5 million fine, and as a company hold $10 million fine, so it's quite big. And that also applies to any of the officers of the PCBU as well. Okay, so $10 million is quite a lot, so also, you know, we need to save lives and make sure that we have a safe working environment. So if you see anything that you think can be changed around the way that I've linked everything up here, please let me know and we can change it.
Very good. Thank you very much.